Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to discuss the most beginner-friendly way to slash 80% of your workload. And you can do that by using AI agents to turn days of work into simple clicks of a button. So just a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about exactly what AI agents are and why they matter. I'm going to show you a real-life example of one. And I'm going to show you how you can cash on these processes with yourself with no risk. So if that sounds good to you, I'll just hit the subscribe button and let's just get started. So what are AI agents? An AI agent is basically like a virtual employee. It can learn, it can make decisions, it can take action, like scheduling, emailing, analyzing data, etc. And it does it all without you having to babysit it. So it's really like a real life employee that heads like maybe like it had your marketing department, like something like that. And it can make decisions based off different inputs and actually balance them to make together output. So for example, different inputs could be like your prompt, obviously, your training data, obviously, but also it could be like your database. So that kind of means like your RAG. RAG just means, this is where it gets a bit technical, but RAG basically stands for retrieval augmented generation. It's just the simplest way I could put it is basically it's just like a library that the AI could pull from to complete certain tasks. And it's like it's data outside of your training data. Your local file, so that would be like maybe you have PDFs or Word documents that the AI uses to actually complete certain tasks. API calls, so that'll be like your connections to different software. So like API to WhatsApp, API to Instagram, social media, etc. And then it also has sensors. So what sensors meaning like basically I was able to analyze data and so forth. So now I'm sure you all heard of an AI automation, but that's not the same thing as an AI agent. So the AI automation is kind of like it follows a preset of rules. So it's just if this happens, it'll do this. If this happens, it'll do this. And there's no room for variation. There's no room for okay, this happened, but this didn't happen. So should it do will the AI still do this? Like AI automation, they can't really do that. It's just a simple logic-based workflow that the AI has to follow, and it has to follow regardless of any other outside like influences or outside changes. So the best way I can put it, AI automation, it's kind of like a map, and the AI auto agent is more like a GPS system that it can handle different, like different traffic. It tells you it can change the route based off the traffic, change the route based off detours and like things like that. AI agents are better, they're more problem solvers than just simple automations. So a basic AI agent team would look something like this. It's kind of like the user, that's you, and then you have a command, and then it has a supervisor agent, and then that supervisor agent will basically route the task to the different agents that it has to go to. So say you ask your AI team to research this lead through LinkedIn. So the AI supervisor will then send that to the research team in this example here, and then web scraper and all that other and that type of and then your AI supervisor will basically send that information to the correct agents and their correct agent tools to get that task done. So I'm going to show you exactly what a AI automation looks like. So this is an AI automation I have for my blog post on my website. So basically I just have a spreadsheet on it, and then that automation just takes the topics. It takes a hook and headline framework from one of my framework in my document, and then this ChatGPT actually picks a headline or a hook and pairs it with the idea. It then updates the sheet, basically telling the sheet that this idea was used already. Then a blog outline is created. Then that outline is used to create the first draft of the blog, and that basically adds in the necessary keywords for the blog to actually rank. And then we want our blog to actually sound human and not have any mistakes. And so we have another GPT that checks for all that stuff and humanizes the content. Then it just takes all that and puts it into a Google Doc where I can just copy and paste and make any other changes I need to make and add it to my website. That's just the automation. Now, an AI agent team will look something more like this. And this is an example of an AI agent team that I did for one of my clients for this to load. So it's pretty complex, but it's not as complex as it looks. So it basically starts off with a bunch of triggers. There's different possible triggers basically. So One trigger that they had was a lead list input. So basically, when a new lead is actually added to their CRM, it'll trigger a task in this AI agent team. Also, there's also a WhatsApp trigger, so you can basically communicate with the team through WhatsApp and send voice messages, and the voice message will turn to text messages, and then it'll send to the project manager. When a lead completes a form, like an input form, that triggers the automation, and also can be triggered through Slack, and that's with the team. So basically, all those triggers, those commands, basically whatever you want to get done, goes to the project manager, and the project manager will actually create a SOP for the team to follow. So then, based on the SOP, to use that SOP to delegate it actually with the CEO to when tasks are finished, updates on tasks, or that type of stuff. So there's basically like four main functions of this AI agent team: there's the communication manager, client manager, research manager, and content manager. And they all have access to the other agents that have other agents. So these agents are like a Slack agent, email agent, then they have a cold email agent, proposal invoice generator, and then oops, so an invoice generator agent, and then for example they have a lead researcher agent, viral content researcher agent, and then social media they have a YouTube agent, social media agent basically, and a content idea agent. And then though all those agents have access to different tools. So like for example, this content idea agent has access to a Google Sheet, has access to a Google Doc. It generates content ideas. It creates a content outline, and it can create Google Docs. I can just show you quickly another example with some of the tools that these agents have. Like for example, this LinkedIn communications agent, it can read unread chats. It can read the message history. It can also send a message, send an invite, and get the current date. And the current date really is important so that it can differentiate between which messages are old and which messages are new, and that type of stuff. So this is essentially like it's built like an organization. These are the employees. The employees have certain tools that they use to complete the task. They communicate with their manager. Their manager evaluates and checks if everything is correct, then sends it to the director manager, and the director manager communicates it with the CEO and sends everything that's necessary to the CEO. And it communicates with the CEO through WhatsApp. So that's why I can send WhatsApp messages. So now that I've shown you an example of an AI automation and an example of an AI agent team, let's talk about why it's really important in your business. And it's important for you to be using in your business like today. So we all lose hours on repetitive tasks, like manually typing the same responses out to clients, copying data from one sheet to another, trying to keep track of a schedule that changes every 5 minutes. It's not really the best use of our time or our team's time. It kills productivity, it drains your brain power, and it costs you more than you think. And the worst part is when you keep doing everything yourself or you have everything being done by your small team, you max out on time and energy. And then that eventually leads to maxing out on revenue. So this is why AI agents are a lifesaver because, like I mentioned, that system for 15 cents can get all those tasks done. Instead of you having to pay a content creator, having to pay someone to reach out to your leads, having to pay someone to reach out to your LinkedIn for 15 cents. You're doing everything you wish you could with 10 extra hands without spending 10 extra salaries. So if you've never used AI in your business before, there's nothing to be nervous about. You can always start off slow and risk-free. So here at Care Launch, what we do is we actually take your dead and unresponsive leads and we revive them so that they convert into paying customers and serious customers. We can convert up to 40% of your old prospects into paying customers. That means out of 1,000 contacts, which you originally thought were sunk costs, that's potentially 400 new customers for your business. So if that's something that interests you, you can visit us at our website or you can click the link in the description below. We'll gladly chat with you about it. So that's all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.